thing to YouTube to connect it. Amazing. It works. I guess one of the few things to adjust in this case is this. Perhaps we're testing internet, perhaps. Who knows? There we go. Amazing. Amazing. So, what do I need to do? Now that I don't really have that much stuff to think about, there is not much to really have in mind. It's so over, man. It's so absolutely over. That hole left of by seeing that no, there is no thing that you can actually do to fix that. There is no anything. It's so crazy. Its existence certainly something fun, yes. Anyway, how is also why am I like I don't even know why I'm like half deaf today. I didn't even scream or anything like that. I know, yeah, you're a person who smokes. Okay, I haven't smoked in this entire week so far, so actually you're wrong. Actually, that didn't happen. You're making it up. Also, wait a second. I realized I love how useless it is for. There we go. What am I looking for? Let me close everything else. We are looking for. I should actually open the game, yeah. I should enable the sound. Why? Okay, this is the second time I see the exact same issue, and I have no clue why exactly, but the moment in which I open Path of Exile, for some reason it stops counting the last time I played. And I have no clue why it does that, like it happens, it can happen. The question is why? Great question, I have no answer to offer you. It just does, for some random, impossible to understand reason, basically. It's fun, I guess, I mean, if you're gonna tell me that it doesn't impact anything, then we can run with that story, but I'm pretty sure that there is something that has to be affected by that thing. No, I don't think so, I don't think so. Plus, but yeah, something about, man, there is so much stuff. I don't really know. Also, wait, I have a question. With this new thing that I have, what happens if I do test? If I do this and I pin it, yeah, will it stay for me? Visible? No, right? Also, why is this a cigarette? Like what? What's the meaning of that? Anyway, yeah. Does it stay actually? It seems to actually. No, okay, it doesn't stay under the standard. So meaningless then. Unpin. There we go. What am I. I need to set up everything else. I think something out, probably trying to. What was it? I am right now not really feeling in that sense sick, but unavoidably. There was a lot of like stuff in the air today, to which yeah, I end up feeling bad in the throat, basically. I guess I am just guessing. It's not like I actually know why particularly today. Like what happened? No clue. No real thing to tell you. Just happened. I woke up and for some reason my throat said, "Nah, you know what? Today you're not gonna speak like a normal human being." Can occur. Can deserved probably. something. Yeah, this is something absolutely related to what I had in mind the most for today. So we will talk out that well. Gaming occurs, I guess. What am I looking for? What's yeah, it was this window that was frozen. Yeah. Does this content meet your expectations? I don't even watch the news that you present to me, bro. I hope it does to you. I don't care about what Bing has to say about the news. It's absolutely fine. It is whatever you say it is. There we go. So it's working. Something else that I should probably try to do? I don't think so. We're fine then. We can do this. No, not yet. Like we have 2 minutes left still. Or how much? 1 minute and 50 seconds. Wow, so inaccurate. Cannot believe it. We lost the accuracy of the numbers present. Also, I don't know. I had a certain memory surge. Like, what will be not exactly the point? I understand the point, but how do you deal with the stuff like the view farm things? You know, how do the platforms properly regulate all of that? In which way can we actually do anything about that issue? I guess. How does that get solved in any manner? I don't. Something about probably limitations of IP, but I think it's related to the devices also have their own IP supposedly, or they're inside. Okay, the IP is shared, but there is like a particular identifier for them, something like that, that lets them be a lot more special to their own selves and nothing else. Something like that. I don't really know. Anyways, we are not here to talk about technology. We are not a technology channel. So it's not something that should concern us, even if it might be a problem or anything like that, yeah. And Discord. I was forgetting already about that, yeah. There we go. Man, why wonderful. Because I sound like this, the microphone has an issue picking up my voice. Can happen, I guess. Let me. It's not like I even have any clue why it happened. So yeah, I wish I could tell you. No, yeah, we're gonna solve it like this. No way to solve it, or at least that's what I'm pretty sure about. Anyway, it's whatever. We are all good. So yeah, let me see. We are today yet again. We are here to continue playing Path of Exile. Yeah, it's last time stream died, so this is basically the stream that should have happened yesterday. That didn't happen yesterday. So yeah, we are getting our fix that way. Anything else? I don't think so. I think we are ready, probably. Let me check. Wait, what level am I? I said level 79. I am actually level 80 today. Good enough. Good enough. Edit this thing level 80. Wow. Save. There we go. I didn't swap. Sorry. I changed. There we go. Now, here we are with this the only character. Also, taking into consideration that I deleted literally every single character, I lost the only mate's blood that I ever had, I'm pretty sure. That's fun for sure. But I mean, I don't even really get what's the point of like It's not absolutely a true statement. I do, to some extent, understand why it happens, but to the very same extent, or to some other degree, it's like I don't know. I just feel like it is quite meaningless to be so worried about. Today we are gonna get this thing in terms of, yeah. And I didn't say anything else. No, sorry. I lost myself in my own words. I had this sudden claim thing there, and it was like stronger than me. That can happen, I guess. Anyway. So what? I had something buying, selling. What was it? A chaos for an essence. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. I don't know. I am trying to look for literally anything else to say. I have something to actually talk out, but I feel like it's to some extent difficult. There is life. Life is filled with difficulties, and it's interesting to find something of that sort that makes it, at least for me, once again, somewhat hard to actually mention stuff like that. But yeah, it's a great day to be alive, or something like that. It's a wonderful evening to do stuff, and a beautiful morning to be. I remember, okay, just one thing. I don't even remember exactly where I heard it at this point. I know I saw it somewhere. About, yeah, when your throat is feeling well, you shouldn't at all. You're gonna have the sensation of, yeah, you have to adjust it. You have to try to make it change. You have to try to make it not annoy you anymore. Doing that is absolutely damaging to your voice. It's the worst thing that you could probably do, perhaps. You have to learn other methods of adjusting it, basically. Even if it is, to some extent, wait. I activated the sound, but I didn't activate the game sound. Understandable. I'm quite clever, you see. Let me sound. There we go. Wow, so beautiful. I need this background noise to lose myself, and this dopamine effect of fucking stuff being hit and whatnot. Anyways, I was saying that, the sensation of having to adjust your voice, you ignore it. You realize that it is there and you ignore it. Rotundly ignore it. But yeah. What the hell is that? Why does it have a red filter? What is this thing? Excuse me? Stun. Flask applied to you 61. Huh? It's like these things. What? What's the point of this thing? Like, 2% reduced flask effect duration per level? What's the point? I'm gonna have a flask that lasts 5 seconds, and you're gonna tell me that it is only going to last 2.5, and I should take it? Like, yeah, this is the right build to utilize. Under which conditions are you actually looking for something like that? Does it? Let me see. I have one case. 3.5 seconds. No. Utility flask. Yeah. What? This is a flask. What are you talking about, man? What? I don't get that thing at all. I thought it was something like, yeah, you get that to basically utilize it with your, what is it? With your own flasks that are for healing and whatnot. Seems to not be the case. Anyway, doesn't matter. The real point is something else. Sorry, let me I said it already when I was beginning. To some extent, it was beating around the bush, and it's 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 so incredibly possible. I guess to some extent, there is an instance in the realization of things in which you start to minimally observe the whole. I guess you could frame it as when you are trying to understand the things that make you do stuff in general and whatnot. Inside of all of that, there is a particular subset of attitudes that is very much aligned with, yeah, I can, as long as I am capable of admitting that they are there, I can see when I am actually avoiding entirely talking about other things in plural. And not for the sake of anything important, that's the worst thing, but simply because, yeah, it seems to be something that I don't even know if I really want to mention at all, or I feel like it will be bad to say. So I decided then to keep my mouth shut about it. Or it's not exactly, sometimes it's not even about that, it's also the whole sensation of, and you know what? I don't really need to know if it is going to be good or bad. I can. What the fuck is that thing? What the hell is that enemy? The first time in my life that I see something like that. What summons that huge thing? Also, oh my god, I need one of these. No. Okay, so far we have no way of getting to the apex. That should be a concern, absolutely. Probably this map is rigged, absolutely rigged. We're gonna see. We are gonna see. Okay. Wow. What a great play, bro. Oh yeah. Anyway, I was saying that, yeah, there is the stuff that you can see that you avoid and whatnot, and it's, I wouldn't say bad to see it. It's an interesting realization, the moment in which you are capable of admitting that those sensations, I guess, are there and whatnot. You finally gain the possibility of saying, well, I should try to do something about this, perhaps, or at least I am capable of trying something. It doesn't mean that it will always happen, but you can try. That's more than enough. But yeah, anyways. I was about. No, I tried. Actually, I did to some extent for it. There is a lot of things to always mention, but it's too much of an issue to actually remember all of them. It's difficult, let's say it like this, it's difficult to be capable of having in mind all the things that throughout the day occur. Not even a recollection. I can give you a recollection of my life in that sense, but it's more about thoughts and ideas that are not exactly haunting you, but yeah, present, so that you can extract anything from them. Doing that is to some extent hard, I feel like, and unavoidably it's fun to try to play around with that sensation, because I don't think that's just because it's hard, therefore it means that it's meaningless to try to do anything about that. Yeah. This thing, Willwood Wisps, Divination Carrots, yeah, no, nothing. Very good actually. But yeah, it was, I don't know, I have something. I am, there is that whole area also of censorship in a different manner. I saw something that, well, let me explain it better. Something that I have realized happens is whenever I get with my family, I tend to have a lot of stuff to save from that experience, because in the end, as I there is a huge difference between being here and being actually with other people in terms of when you are here, you can monologue as much as you want. When you are doing something of this sort, there is no need for a pause, so to speak, you know? So there is no reason to simply shut up. Okay, that stops existing, or you go back to the normal functioning of a human being, basically. Cannot get to. No, wait. We still have two entries. So this is to some extent a goal. Also, instead of the whole tree of upgrades mechanic, what is there to unlock, particularly for stuff of this sort? Unlock, brother. But yeah, I was saying, when I find myself to be with my family, it occurs that yeah, there is that I go back to the normal human functioning of you need to take turns to speak, you know. At least we're decent enough to understand that whole mechanic, that whole dynamic, more than a mechanic, of how to be capable of, yes, simply admitting that indeed it's necessary to give a chance to others to speak in turns and whatnot. What you learn when you are in kindergarten, I guess, or something like that. The whole notion of I do require to let others speak and whatnot, and that's I guess that's the caveat. I say that it happens, not entirely, not entirely. So there is a lot of times in which I don't say anything, and the point is in this case, because that very same thing is in motion here, I end up finding out that indeed I have something to mention from that whole experience this time around, and I don't know, it always has a certain spirit to it, but it's fine anyways. Also, I didn't die at all. I am happy. But the golem died, so it seems to be that there is actually quite a lot of damage happening somewhere. I don't even know where exactly, but I didn't die, so I am good. True. You, what you... Where did I get 20 cellular orbs? What happened there? What? Can occur, I guess. Also, why did I pick up this? That was a mistake. The values. Let me see. Wonderful. Values. One alchemy. Wow, amazing. So worth keeping. There we go. No, give me a second. The first thing that I have to do is... There we go. Amazing. And also, the game lagged. The game indeed lagged. It wasn't me. I thought it was me, but no. See, no. There is nothing else to actually do there. So yeah, I was saying, from those encounters with my family, I extract a lot of stuff. I try, to some extent, I try to be reasonable and not to really have too much of them influence anything that I say. There is a degree of annoyance, I guess, in terms of it always is quite frustrating to see that, yeah, what this person is talking about comes from that place of frustration more than anything else, and I try to avoid it simply because of that. But at the same time, it doesn't really mean that it's absolutely impossible or whatever. What the fuck is this? What are those? Huh? Are these like traps? What are they? What are the purple things? God knows what they are. Also, I got a chaos array, what? And I got a stand. I'm gonna need something that allows me to get a stand. Oh my god. I'm going to probably die. What is this? Restorative Tempest. Okay, so that's what that is. I see. I have somewhat learned. Also, the temple. What? The woman is with me? Amazing. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I was saying. Even if I try to avoid it, it still happens. And even if I try to act like nothing of that sort occurs, there are many other influences to earn from that. I guess the whole notion of things are so horrible. It not entirely. It mostly always ends up depending on the way in which you take them, so to speak, the way in which you are capable of dealing with what is actually happening. Things are not so bad most of the time. It's simpler to choose to believe that they are quite horrible. Wait, we have increased quantity and rarity. Understood. This thing is the entrance. Okay, anywhere that I should actually try to go? No clue. Okay, we're actually in, so we're gonna see how much I die or not. But yeah, the whole aspect of lessons and whatnot, and the difficulty indeed of I can from this thing actually not get so irritated and not get as many empty nothingness, but rather find out something that might as well be in some manner useful to me and capable of giving me something, you know? And in all of that, there is the, I would say, issue of, but while that can happen, you still need to do a lot of work to actually extract anything from it. And it's, most of the time, yeah, I feel like, unavoidably, it's a lot of work from oneself. You don't really get to see how it works because of anything else in terms of things become automatically apparent simply because you chose to. How could it actually happen without any other influence? I guess that's sort of the issue. Unavoidably, it cannot happen at all. I feel like the whole aspect of you are almost forced to have to act in accordance to what you can see, what you can sense, what you can take out, and how you can, first and foremost, I guess, self-regulate in order to avoid getting irritated by all of that. And in that thing, yeah, there is a lot of unavoidably interesting decisions to try and make and whatnot. But the point is, that's more like the meta explanation. The real point lies in, and unavoidably, one of the many things that happens today that I feel like is incredibly amazing. I don't know. I get surprised whenever I am surrounded by people of this sort. That's why I try to always bring it up. The whole notion of, yeah, you know what? It's so fine for you and me to be totally pessimistic about things. There is such a tendency. I am not willing to learn about the stuff that wait a second, I need this thing. There we go. Now I can go like 5% faster when and the whole aspect of, yeah, you know what, I can only learn, I can only involve myself with the lessons, and I can only take out something as long as I actually, it's not based on a feeling, but more, I guess, on the capacity of the person to truly reach a point of clarity, I guess, about whatever they see, whatever they think that would allow them to, yeah, in the end, simply say you know what, this thing I hate. But even if I hate it, I, I, or how do you actually think about it? I don't really think it's just out hating or not. It's perhaps the whole like aspect of pity, because or spite, sorry, because I have taken a spite on this thing. I can actually see how horrible it is, and based on my spite, I'm going to try to take something out, and I will try to learn something and whatnot. That's what I feel like it occurs, that the person finally realizes, ah, yeah, there is this one thing that I can actually gain from that. And it is in those encounters, in the encounter with those things, with those sensations basically, that the person continuously gets to misuse the possibility of learning, so to speak, because much of the information available out, stuff in general, is out there. But once you decide to, instead of truly acquiring anything, simply locking onto the aspects that you decide to hate, there is a lot of missing stuff becoming apparent or being created due to how you have chosen to interact with things and how you have chosen to go about the usage of your time, even in the acquisition of such knowledge. And the final point is unavoidably the pessimism that gets born out of this very same attitude of, ah, yeah, you know what, I can learn out whatever I want, and that in the end I do have these things that I hate, so is it really that bad for me to hate this thing to the degree to which I say, ah, absolutely despise it, let it be, whatever, and whatever it is, I will be absolutely glad that I have chosen to hate to the degree to which I do the thing. And it's, yeah, my point. No, I don't think I'm trying to say that, yeah, and it's fine to hate this stuff. No. Hate, in general, as a sentiment, is meaningless, damaging, even completely unnecessary. And in the whole allowance of all of that, it is that a lot of life becomes not just darker, but much more unenjoyable. And in those events, with those motivations, I feel like unavoidably way too many people end up falling for the trap of, yeah, I can learn all this stuff, so I will instead cultivate a nihilistic approach basically to what I can intake, and I don't think it's that surprising. Unavoidably, it's bad enough to the degree to which you can say, things are being damaged because of the attitude that I have chosen to take in regards to these things. Things are being a lot less enjoyable, and way too much is perhaps even the final point always, of getting harmed and whatnot because of that. But to some extent, I have to admit, yeah, the whole aspect of, can I truly say that I understand it? Can I truly admit that I get the consequences of my actions? Not even when I am doing something good can I get something like that. So when you are moved by this very same spite, basically, it's impossible to be capable of realizing what's happening, But yeah, this association with knowledge by simply the way or route of hatred is harmful, and I find it to be so replicated. I'm not trying to say, no, personally, I don't do it. I guess I have had multiple instances myself in my own life, basically, of also just deciding to learn about something because I have seen that somebody said something so absolutely wrong, so incredibly stupid that it was useful to try and learn what was the actually bad thing said in order to learn what is actually the correct notion about that. And it occurs with most people unavoidably. I don't think it's something easy to overcome or whatever. In the end, we're bound to have those sensations, we're bound to feel like some things are worth learning, even if the quote unquote not for the right reasons. The whole notions that we carry nowadays of it can be whatever, and it can be anything that you feel like. So even if it is something that can be harmful, as long as you avoid getting damaged by it, so to speak, you're fine. As long as you don't really do anything bad, it is fine too. And with that kind of association to knowledge, it ends up getting just replicated or perpetuated, the whole notion of it doesn't matter. Even if we all here have a completely toxic standing in regards to... Also, what the fuck is... This is the apex? Wow. Okay. So I missed places. Good to know. I thought the temple was a lot longer. I guess something about me being overleveled, probably. And what the fuck was that lag? What the hell is this lag, brother? Am I lying? Are the servers lying? Who knows? What a wonderful question. Who knows? And yeah, I was saying that basically it gets normalized, all of that, but we have never really had that much of an importance for it. But not just from the perspective of, yeah, this could be important, but we all choose to act like it doesn't. So in the end, even if there is something lost, it's all fine, because once again, nobody here is present to try and correct that. I will say it's incredibly amazing also to see how much of a damage gets done when you associate to stuff in that way. Because I have seen in terms of realizations that you have. Let's say like this. One of the arguments was for example, you know what, it might be harmful to utilize a phone at all. Indeed, it could be to some extent. Let me say it like this: it could be damaging, but the reality also is, what are we actually trying to accomplish with it? What's the point? What's the motivation behind what's moving you to utilize technology? What are the hopes that you have when using that? What are the reasons? What are the motives? What's everything that makes the thing itself happen? Not just the final consequence of, yeah, this is so bad. Okay, besides the badness itself, what is the personal aspect that you have in regards to that? Like, what is it? Are you drinking coffee because you really feel like giving yourself a cup of coffee, or are you drinking coffee because you have bonded with it in a way in which you're needing that cup of coffee to live your day, to live throughout your life and whatnot, you know? There is an incredible distance between, yeah, this thing is bad because it is bad in terms of this is truly something harmful, and this thing is bad because I myself am doing something absolutely horrible with it. I am doing something incredibly harmful with it, you know? And I am only perpetuating that same sensation, that same way of dealing with things and whatnot when I try to utilize it myself. And it's impossible also to not feel like that's, in some cases, I guess, even the most common way of dealing with stuff that, yeah, it's all fine because we're all here accustomed to functioning like that, and we're all here. We have already normalized it as being the quote unquote proper way of functioning. But no, it is still meaningful, and it is still, to some extent, perhaps even the most important part. Finally, a divine, the first divine in the entire run. Good enough. But yeah, I was saying, the whole aspect of, I bond with things in this way, and I see that it leads to these other consequences. It actually does play a huge role. I would say the most important role in the final consequences of what you're doing, what you're trying to get out of stuff and whatnot. If you are associating the things from a place of hate, I don't think that you're going to gain anything, really. I don't think that you're going to gain something beneficial to yourself, or that you're gonna find yourself living a happier existence, a better life, because you chose to focus on all the horrible things that exist in this world. The whole, for example, whenever you talk about, I tried to, and I can supposedly understand now what it means to be having stuff like this exist in around me. The news and whatnot, and the whole aspect of, perhaps consuming a lot of these things might be harmful. That whole aspect of life, basically. Do you have anything that I didn't? This, I guess? This area in the middle, yeah. I have to suppose that I didn't visit that. Not here. But yeah, I was saying that those things are possible to analyze. The issue is actually doing that. And it is unavoidably. It's difficult in terms of how can I actually want to change anything of that sort if I already am happy with what I have, if I already feel like it is fine for me to act in this way, if I have the sensation that this is the correct thing to do, why would I need in any way whatsoever to mutate what I already have accustomed myself to doing, what I already have seen works for me? But I don't know, I feel like it's an absolutely misused term to some extent, but the whole growth mentality, instead of simply admitting that, you know what, it's whatever. No, man, sometimes it's necessary to desire to change, even if you personally cannot see the absolute usefulness in it. It's good to actually want to change and have the interest in changing in any way that's possible for you. Doesn't really have to be that significant to others sometimes. Just by knowing that you can change, you gain a lot the possibility of saying, I can perhaps try some more, and perhaps I can, to some extent, see that this might have these consequences, or this might bring forward this other handful of things, and these many other degrees of changes and whatnot. And simply because of that, it already gains some importance, so to speak. But in the whole association, just by anger, there is so much. You know what? I will. Whenever we talk about it, it gets mentioned basically as. There is one particular term. You only gain confirmationship biases, nothing else of substance. You only keep furthering the beliefs that you already had about the stuff, nothing else. So that's the primal reason as to why you should try to care about how you think about the stuff lies in the realization that, perhaps you're hurting everything else that you learn about, that you discover, that you think about, simply based on the realizations that you have, on the ways of, once again, associating the things that you encounter, that you normalize. And it's, I don't know, I feel, when I talk about it, I feel like it's too normalized to say, yeah, it doesn't matter. If I make it look like it's bad, I don't really need to learn about it myself. I don't really need to find anything out of that might show me that it isn't bad. Isn't it giving up way too much? Isn't it being absolutely negative to some extent? Why would it truly be fine for someone to be that much angry about this stuff and that's rapidly capable of dismissing anything of this sort? In the end, I feel like it sounds like a crazy statement to some extent, but yeah, unavoidably, aren't we here to try and have a good life? Why will it be? What the fuck happened there? Why will it be bad to therefore want to not have as many issues of this sort existing? I don't think it is all that crazy to admit that, yeah, if I have this problem, I could try to solve it instead of just keeping myself linked to that in this one manner, keeping myself absolutely distraught and altered by all of that in this one way, because of this one method. It's already bad enough to see that it happens, but I think the whole aspect of the normalization of such association with things is what truly makes it bad. Because I can say that, yeah, most of it isn't really all that bad. Most of it is, yeah, this thing is actually a lot more hurtful simply because we are fine with it ourselves, you know? Yeah. Anything else? Nothing else. Wow, that's a whole map of this? I was actually expecting more. Okay, we did it. That's what? A temple of Atzotl map. Good enough. Now the solid stuff. This. I'm curious, what is this? Attack spear? Great. But what is this? Like a belt? Hat. Okay. Character size? Wow, reduced character size. Interesting. I haven't seen one of those yet. Okay, that's that. And now to save our theater currency. And the first divine. Amazing. Finally. If it wasn't for the other absolutely lucky drop, we will just have one. No. I have to go here. But we are well enough. But yeah, I was saying, and I don't know, I feel like unavoidably, there is such a tendency for, to some extent, you can say, oneself follow is to allow it to occur that, yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it's fine, because I have accustomed myself to being annoyed by it. And I don't think so. Most of life is also about the joy of having things that don't absolutely annoy the fuck out of you, you know? It's weird to see how much that gets taken as, I don't know if it is truly good, but normal, the whole aspect of, yeah, you know what, this thing irritates me, but what can I actually do about that? I am irritated, but it doesn't really matter. In the end, why should it matter at all? Why should anyone here try to care about these kind of irritations and whatnot? And I don't know, I don't think so. I think that unavoidably there is something of a different sort, so to speak. What? Sacrifice this item on the altar of sacrifice along with dance of the offered to transform it. Dance of the sacrifice? Can I? What is that? Dance of the... What? Excuse me? Dance of the Offered, sorry. Am I blind? Perhaps I'm blind. Diagnostic. Diagnostic? Okay. Whatever you mean, my man. I don't think it really suits me in terms of, yeah, this is such a good pair of boots to have equipped. But it's not bad enough, I guess. Here, there has to be one that I don't want. This or deposits. Do I address the board? What? The X. This thing, I don't really care about that. And tormented spirits, they are fine. Delirium is fine. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's whatever. Also, we are actually lying a little bit, but we are so lost like 500 frames, which is 0.2% only, so not that much. Good enough. But anyways, I have, at this point, I have already been going over that for the past 10 minutes. My point is that, yeah, it's annoying to see how easy it can be for one to actually become overwhelmed and annoyed by all of those notions, by all of those ideas. It doesn't need to happen, yet it gets so cured with such a degree, to such extent, that it feels like there might be a lot that we're actually ignoring, so to speak, you know? And that's where I feel like there is something actually bad going on there. Hurtful occurring in that place. It shouldn't be like that. It doesn't need to be like that, rather. But, I don't know, toxic tendencies and whatnot. We have all of those and we get accustomed to them and we act like they are fine. And in the end, if something hurts us or whatever, we never truly cared about them in the first place, so why do that now, you know? Currency exchange. I want cases. Give me... I have 200 of these, so if I sell 200, how many will you give me? 5. Good enough. Acceptable enough trade. Pero this and this, and I saved them up, which I didn't mean to do. Okay, that's done. So now, what's this area? Tier 5. This? No. This. It's actually quite well. I should probably, yeah, I have already condemned myself, I guess, to some extent, to have all of this here. I need to have it happen. I need to have more of enchanting stuff and whatnot. The only issue is I don't really have that many scouring orbs. They are quite costly to some extent, so that's why too. But it's fine. It's all good. Influence, but it's how it's fine. This, I guess this, and this. You're here, no? No, what? Dormant Scarab. What? Why are you not stacking with the other one? Ah, divination. What? I am mission impaired. Anyways, let me. Yeah. What do you do? 52. Somewhat better. Not really all that great, but somewhat better. Okay, there we are. But yeah, as I said, I think that's everything for that particular idea. It's just that. In the end, it's not really that much of a deep notion. It's just that indeed, I find it to be incredibly hurtful to be so capable of searching stuff and deciding out things to that extent of, yeah, it doesn't matter. If I make a hasty decision, if I associate two things in a bad manner, if I completely miscategorize what I'm thinking about, what I'm talking about, and whatnot, why would anyone here have to care about that? What's the real point behind that, anyways? What do we actually gain from such a thing? Aren't we all happy, anyways? What's the true goal of trying to act like it matters, you know? And that whole notion is, in my eyes, yeah, hurtful. But it's also, and when you talk about biases and whatnot, it's hard to get rid of anything like that. We are already accustomed to living in that way, to dealing with things in that manner. It's impossible almost to ask someone who has already spent a big portion of their existence just building up all of those biases. But I don't think that it is. On the other hand, you can say that I don't think it will be fair to also act like it never mattered at all, you know? There is still some importance behind those things. There is still some degree of meaningfulness behind the act of accepting that, yeah, I might require to actually reconsider life. Life is far more beautiful when you stop closing off as many doors by simply choosing to search everything that you see, you know? But to do that is to go a little bit beyond what we're accustomed to do. Also, what the fuck is all of this? Why did you give me such a lengthy paragraph, brother? Okay, that's this map, I guess. Understandable. Absolutely understandable. Truly, that's short. Do I have? Probably I am at this point in a wildly incredibly overleveled or something like that, to be capable of not having issues like this at all. Happens. But yeah, it's not really like we actually care that much about our, I wouldn't say potential, but more like our own experience in that sense. It's, you have to not be yourself, basically. The whole capacity to some extent, not the right word, but okay, let's different wording. You need to create such a distance, such a degree of separation between what you are and how you think about things and how things might actually work in any way, to be capable of saying that, yeah, you know what, I will try out this thing to not be annoyed by it, and I will try also to, whatever it is, not let it, I guess, affect me to some extent, not let it actually bring harm to me, and think therefore about the whole possibility of what can I actually gain by allowing this to exist, so to speak, by giving my time to this absolutely stupid idea, this absolutely meaningless aspect of life. What's the real point behind me trying to get out of that? Do we actually gain anything, or am I just telling myself that it might be fine? But yeah, it's, judgment is incredibly easy to make out most things. That's the issue. So to try to say, yeah, you can change it. Unaware, you can change many things, but some things, the whole aspect of, you might not really believe that it is necessary to do that. So what's the point? Change can be made, yeah. Great enough, blank statement. Do you actually want that change to happen? That's the question. And that's to some extent the issue of, yeah, I can do a little bit better. I can try to be a little bit better and whatnot. I don't know if it can. Sometimes, once I do not feel like I could allow it to cure. But whatever. It's just that, yeah, the judgment about those things is, I will say, but I feel like unavoidable. And because it is so, then it becomes so easy for oneself to simply, well, everything is spawning outside this area thanks to the particular map generation. Amazing. What a great place. Damage taken will slowly increase up to... What is this thing tweaking with anything? What is that face, brother? Just give me this, you know? Whatever you are, just give me that. We're gonna be fine. Oh. But yeah, it is whatever. It's just that one cannot stop worrying about the ways in which you associate with the world, I guess. You can say it like that. Because in the end, yeah, it can be quite bad to act like out of that it doesn't matter. I don't think so, man. No, I don't think so. I don't think that it doesn't matter if you tend to badmouth so many aspects that could give you, serve some part, some purpose in your life, you know? It is actually quite hurtful to make it look like, yeah, none of those things do have an importance, do matter at all. It's good for me to be an absolute despot and pessimistic in its entirety about the nature of these things. Even if it is somewhat bad, I don't need to care about it, you know? Because whatever it is that might be seen as bad, I don't really need to think about it myself. There are still the other things that I have in my life that seem to work already, so why care about this other handful of things if I already have my life in order? And I guess that's where I feel like the problem can easily be found. Sometimes. Also, isn't this amazing? Well, wait. Courses and non-damaging elements you apply are reflected. I guess I am going to take that. I am not going to take an even bigger cloud of chaos because I'm going to fail the challenge otherwise. At this rate. But yeah, I was saying, sometimes the issue is that you can absolutely have the problem of, yeah, you know what, it doesn't matter. I have already my life in order in all these other respects. Why should I try to get then in this with these other things? And I don't think that that's the answer. I will say so. I feel like there are many other aspects that do possess an importance. Not that. Wait, I need to talk to you. Identify tensile. Is this why did I pick up that? I know why. True, and I cannot tell you this, so it's all fine. Destroy, indeed. Pillars of Aaron. I got this doing some maps. I don't even know where to activate that. Ah, wait. Now it shows you. Yeah, here. We need to do a tier 5. Okay. Tier 5. Easy. There we go. Excuse me? Didn't I activate stash? Here. Didn't I use this thing has a laser mechanic inside of it? Am I losing my mind? area contains an additional listen encounter. Yeah. What is my listen encounter, brother? Can you give me my listen encounter before I actually leave? There we go. I absolutely missed it. That's nothing better than that, actually. And oh my god. The map is so ass. Can happen. Can absolutely happen, I guess. Part of the fun. Absolutely yes. Entirely yes. Oh my god. The worst totally possible with 1,000 different walls. Indeed, it's gonna be bad. And this matters a lot. Because we have a second listen encounter thanks to the mirage. Now I like it. Now it. What the fuck? Why? I almost died. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I was saying. And I don't know. It's the conclusion that I already explained before of. It's difficult to say things out to yourself in terms of, yeah, this thing doesn't matter. I can quote unquote do something else, and I can try to relate to things in a different manner. Easy to say. Can you actually do that? I don't feel like in most cases I can actually apply myself to the whole reasoning of, yeah, you know what, it doesn't matter. It's this thing, if I find myself annoyed at it, it doesn't need to have an importance. Or even if I think something about it myself, I can change still how I associate to it and whatnot. I tend to make things be just one way. I tend to associate with whatever I see for the first time in that one direction and not much else. It's sort of unrealistic to expect then that, yeah, you know what, now I'm going to change, now I'm going to be incredibly different. I don't think so, man. Sometimes change is not that possible, basically. Give me this, I guess. I want to see what it is to begin with. And also a level. And amazingly enough, the first level that I gain that isn't directly set on one particular goal, which makes this, to some extent, a lot harder. Multiple patches. I thought that there wasn't just one. I would have sworn by it, but it's all good, I guess. Also, I like this whole tower defense mechanic because it's absolutely hurting me. This thing, restless around, many patches, But what? Ruin inflicting zombies. Understandable, you know what? We can not do that. We can absolutely not do that. We can all agree that that's one I don't need to get. Also, I have to work towards increasing my defenses, so I have no clue how I'm going to do that. But yeah, that's the current goal. Medium cluster. Blades. Yeah, I can take that, I guess. I don't know if I can survive myself, like, I don't even know how am I alive right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm not in a current state to be capable of surviving most of the challenges. Although I say that, but at the very same time, before I was capable of staying alive. Can occur. The encounter area, yeah, bro, exactly what I wanted, actually. You read my mind. You gave me exactly what I needed. You have no clue. Okay, this is probably one, then as long as I don't get forced to pick something that gives me, like, ruin or whatever, this is it. This is it. Give me plus 23. What the fuck? race or monster I have don't matter at all. I don't need to get out that particular. Give me that. And wait, let me see here. Impale, no. I need. I had something in mind. I think it was like two-hand, yeah. This thing, I guess? Or this is attack speed. This should be well. Or this is accuracy ratings, which is basically fine. Yeah. I should. I don't think I really need anything from there, probably. Yeah, I think perhaps holding back on any of those is good. This thing is no. This will be good. Stamina will be actually great. And this is only the duration. I don't really know if I needed that. This will give me more resistances, which is something that I have been looking for actually. So we're gonna assume that this is the right choice. But yeah, anyways, as I said, sorry, I'm finished with that. I don't really have much more to add to that whole topic of yeah, you know, whenever you tend to chat something rapidly or based on your previous impressions and you do it from a place of hatred, you might as well not really gain much. Can happen, but it should be obvious enough, you know, that you should not be acting to things in that way. You should not be allowing, so to speak, those kind of negative emotions to blind your mind to that extent. But that's, I will say, expected in almost any single moment. Basically, it's not like, I know, it's, you know what? Give me this. I already got to a horrible place of, yeah, whatever you pick up, it's going to be horrible, so I am fine. In this case, I don't need to. But yeah, I was saying. Oh no, I wasn't really saying anything actually. I was saying that I am finished with that. I don't know. It's just that I feel like it's too easy. The whole emotion, the whole aspect that has been 1,000 times explored. Right? It's not like, oh no, yeah, today we shall discover anything new. It has already been said so many times. The whole reason for that to happen is that you make it look like it is fine for you to get influenced by such things. In the end, it's absolutely harmful, and you can sometimes we are quite capable of actually knowing that it is harmful, but one chooses to not to do that. The immediate reward gained from falling to those emotions is stronger, so that much makes sense, but it doesn't make the whole act of it happening, or it doesn't justify the whole act of it happening as something that is then good. No, it is still bad that it occurs, and it should not be the case that we are capable of getting moved that much by these things. It should be much more rare of an encounter, much more uncommon, basically. It should not be the case that, yeah, you know what, today I chose to, wait, I have a question, miscellaneous, defense, minus 35, it gives me every single resistance minus elemental resistance, like, no, chaos resistance, right? Amazing, wonderful enough. I have no chaos resistance that I need. I don't even know how can I solve that. I need something to solve that. I don't know how can I solve it. It's whatever. There we go. Good. Good enough. This here, and you know what's the funniest thing? I have this just with the hopes of being capable of selling it at some point, but I don't think that's going to happen unavoidably. Something tells me that it isn't going to cure that. Yeah, today I have found a way to no more be hindered by these things. We are going to be here for a long time. Dealing with, yeah, me. No. You identify until sell. What is this? Area. 10% increased damage taken. Do you really think that's good? Okay. Whatever. There we go. Waypoint. I need it. Yeah, I have this. Which should be. That's there. This here. The nation's card there. This. Okay. Yeah. What I'm gonna be taking is the first break. I need to have my mandatory idle break basically. So yeah. Give me a second, basically. Also, I still once again. So okay, how did the game mute itself when I activated the audio before? What's happening, brother? Can't happen, I guess. Can occur. Whatever. Let me go. Yeah. See you in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour. No. I am back. Am I back? Yeah, I am back. Wow. There we go. This thing and this. Do I really have more tier 4 maps? Like, I have a tier 2 map actually. Amazing. And also tier 5. And I already had it already? Wow. Probably I should try out this tier 3. Yeah. And this tier 4. That is an enchanted. And this one, and this one. There we go. And I have a tier 6. That. Sacrifice at the dawn. Area contains a wall side area. Quantity. The apex of sacrifice. What? So, this is the, I see, I get it now. I get it. I wasn't getting it at all, actually. Let me put this here, and the map that I had put there, where did it go, brother? Did you actually delete my map? No way, right? You didn't just delete my map. And my fucking scarab, right? Where is my fucking map and scarab, brother? There is my divination scarab. Where is my map? I will assume that it wasn't there. There we go. I was saying anyways. Or no, I wasn't really saying anything. I was trying to come back from what I said before. Still. It has been a crazy day, actually taking into consideration that, yeah, I have had so many encounters that is tough to some extent. Lately, I have also seen many, not many, it was just one particular other encounter with that very same attitude, basically, of, yeah, you know what, doesn't really matter, I can be absolutely hateful of these things, and I can be absolutely moved by hatred, but this one in particular oriented also at the aspect of, and you know what, it's fine for me to be irritated when I try to correct the stuff, even in terms of, I don't really know what's the proper context. I don't think that the proper context is something along the lines of, yeah, this person was trying to educate anyone. I feel like it was a lot more about simply, yeah, this person, most of what was happening was simply them trying to, okay, that's too much of a personal judgment. I don't think that was the case. My personal judgment was, it felt a lot more like the person, instead of, the opportunity of teaching is always available when you see that something could be corrected, and instead of going for that thing, I wouldn't say easier, but the choice taken was, you know what, I will rather just disparage at what was wrong about the things that you were saying, and I will make sure that you understand how much of a stupid person you are, and how much of a clever person I am. The whole aspect of, yeah, it doesn't really matter if you get anything out of it. I get to satisfy myself by what I said, and you don't evolve, but I do. And I think that, yeah, that much should be obviously bad, because in the context in which I saw the thing, it was basically a guy making some analysis about things, and the whole attitude was out that way of, no, these things are absolutely bad. No, not just absolutely bad, the more real language of, yeah, these are completely stupid and wrong ways of seeing things, and you have some sort of mental problem if you think that way, and you are not capable of fixing how you believe and perceive and go about such notions, because you should be a grown person capable of understanding And I don't know, I think that something, to some extent, it shouldn't be surprising at all, you know? Life is full of those encounters with people that seem to not really be that. Not. It sounds weird, but the reality of here, sometimes we just forget that people are not that capable of understanding things. And due to that, okay, it traces back to what I was mentioning before. I speak from hatred when I say that these things are bad. I speak from an absolute place of lack of knowledge when I say that these things are hard to understand. There is nothing better than to have the possibility of exploring things and seeing that explanations get to make sense as long as you're slowly getting all the information available about that thing. Unavoidably, for example, we cannot have out of nowhere a sudden conversation about incredibly deep topics, incredibly particular niche arguments, like, for example, philosophy. In philosophy, there is always something easy that is, yeah, we could try to talk about Nietzsche. Can we really try to talk about Nietzsche? Because in the end, if I try to talk about Nietzsche and you don't understand it, I don't understand it, and neither of us really gains anything from this conversation, because you don't understand it, and I don't know that you don't understand it, what's the point, brother? What's the real reason for us trying to talk about anything of this sort, you know? It feels more than anything else like that whole I gain satisfaction because I can see how much you don't know, and that's it. There is nothing else besides that. But the point that I'm making really is this other thing of, and no, sometimes in some cases, yeah, things are quite harder to fully grasp, but in some other cases, I am pretty sure they aren't. Surprisingly enough, the world has a lot of things available to those who simply... It's not even about, yeah, you have to learn to ask. It's just, you have to learn to look for it. You have to learn to be willing to get your hands dirty. The whole expression of, yeah, you're sacrificing your time, your energy, and whatnot to learn, but it can be learned. The issue is, as always, it isn't an immediate thing, an immediate encounter with the knowledge that you're looking for. You're not going to start reading a book and tomorrow it will all make sense out of nowhere. I don't think so. Unavoidably, it does rely a lot on, I can to some degree see that it makes sense, as long as I actually, okay, I got no more stones of passage. How do we actually get to the end area? How do we actually plan to do that? Alba? How does that go if I cannot enter there? Great question. Probably it's a bad temple, taking into consideration that, yeah, I cannot go into it. Can happen. I cannot get the final boss, so that's somewhat well, but I guess the rooms themselves are minimally good. Do not make it be all that well, I guess. Anyway, I was saying that, yeah, in the whole prospect of, yeah, you can learn about things and you can gain some information about it and whatnot, I find it to be the case way too many times that we also do not really want to learn out anything of that sort, sadly. There is a lot of absence of interest in regards to the possibility of seeing, of thinking, of interacting and whatnot. All of those extra lessons, all of those extra bits of information and whatnot, and that's not just hurtful, but also detrimental. In the end, there is a lot that does matter, I will say. But if we really understood how much of life we are missing, we would be in a much different position. I think so. It's not like out of nowhere. This is the only time in which something like that ever happened. It can occur with such a degree of occurrence itself that it's fine. At this point, it's fine. We can keep doing other things, so at the very least focus on that much. And if it ever happens that we can fix these other problems, then it might be great. But if it doesn't happen, then it is whatever, man. There are so many other worries in life that it is better for us to act like those ones don't matter, you know? Even if they do, in the end, play some role in life and whatnot, it might not really be that important. Or it might not really need that much attention. Because other things should take priority and whatnot, so why? Wow, amazing. First time I die in the whole day, I think, so. Is it in the whole day? I don't think so. I think that was me to some extent overestimating how good it has been today so far. Also, I just wanted a map. Can you actually give me a map? Is there truly no possibility of getting any map? Understandable, I guess. Wow. This area does way too much damage, actually. Nah, I'm happy with this. I am done. I'm done with that mafia. You are not going to give me a map at a reasonable price. It's fine, don't give me one then. Do whatever you feel like doing. Is this a movement skill? Sorry. To some extent. It is instantaneous, so what happens if I do this? Like, can I use it? I can use it. No. What a map! What an actual map. And what's the message? Like, I should hurry? I don't get it really. Whatever it is, I'm not gonna bother trying to get it. Also, yeah, I was looking back on that same thing the other day. I wouldn't say exactly an issue, but it's so annoying to see how many possibilities for interpretations there are. I have been thinking about that a lot. I don't know if it is really all that great in terms of, oh wow, you know, you can see all these pieces of media and whatnot that have been created. Mostly, this is where my problem comes forward. There are so many things that have hidden meanings and have hidden, not exactly, wow, they are indoctrinating kids in terms of you're actually doing something horrible, you know? But it is quite harmful to see that, yeah, it's accepted that nowadays most of the media that we have will contain lessons for kids, because I don't think it is all that crazy. Also, I didn't sell anything of the last map. I am amazing. I have my inventory absolutely full because of that. It's not exactly just out, oh no, you are not giving the kids exactly what they need and because of that you are doing something horrible, but there is also a degree of, I'm absolutely sure that it is quite harmful to accept to such an extent so much of the teaching of children, I guess that's how you can say it, to occur throughout that sort of media. It should be a lot more hands-on, so to speak. It's sad to see how normalized it has gotten to the degree to which, not that it is acceptable, to which it is expected even, to see media that contains an extra layer of messages, so to speak, to kids and whatnot. Until there is always this other hand of perhaps it is always necessary to some extent. It feels like it always seems to occur, no matter what you try to do, so perhaps the adult requires always stuff of that sort to be occurring in what they create and whatnot, So that much is fine, but even then, I don't really know, man. I feel like it's absolutely harmful to have everything be so imbued with those messages and meanings and hidden notions and whatnot that are basically overwhelming for a kid. Or not overwhelming, impossible to grasp. Simply put, impossible to grasp. Can't they really know what's trying to be conveyed? It's not okay. I am not speaking from the kids are so stupid. I look back at what I was watching. I look back at what was media that was created around the time in which I myself was a kid, and I find that most of it I would have never fucking understood, man. What are you talking about? Yeah, all of these things made sense. No, I used to watch myself, for example. What the fuck? Okay, I didn't die. I got converted into stone for some reason. Understandable. But yeah, I was saying, it's the whole aspect of yeah, you know what? It's fine. Adventure Time was created when I was a kid, and it seems to not matter at all that, yeah, this thing that has so many layers of meaning gets consumed by children. I don't understand it. I have had it. I have needed myself to get some explanations out of the episodes. How do you expect a children to get the message? Oh yeah, but when you insert them into unconscious mind, then the realization comes and whatnot. Do you truly think that happens? I am quite sure that it doesn't occur to a kid that, yeah, what I am seeing had this meaning. When 5 years from now, when I think about all the stuff that happened for my utter thoughts, so to speak, I am entirely sure. Partially, once again, I do not see that happening in my case. I am pretty sure it does not occur in most cases. But I don't know. Perhaps, once again, the beautiful caveat of, maybe I am the negative one. Maybe kids are all geniuses nowadays that can somehow grasp those layers of meaning. I can't, man, and I couldn't when I was a little kid. I don't know if it is, from my perspective, that shouldn't happen. That doesn't have the possibility of occurring, basically. I don't know if it does occur, but I don't think that it does. And it's not to say that, oh no, yeah, once again, kids are so dumb. I have seen grown-up people struggle to such a degree with the interpretation of messages in that sense of, yeah, these are the actual implied meanings. This is the metaphor present in this thing that you are seeing. This is the meaning. I know people who have 50 years or more and absolutely struggle with the recognition of something like, yeah, this is once again, this is a particular metaphor. This is what I'm actually seeing in terms of this come in the place of something else that I might have to understand, that I might have to do a lot of mental work to see how it works in essence, that I need to put a lot of effort to imagine as something else, so that it isn't just that thing that I see. Like, media is full of that stuff. There are dozens of those things existent nowadays, and unavoidably, it's fun that they are. But my gripe is, kids can actually do that very same thing. Are you truly sure that that happens? Why is it normalized that occurs? Why is it fine that, yeah, you know what? It will happen. If a kid tries to understand it, they will find out that there is an implied meaning, and if they are good enough to be capable of getting it, great. If they don't, bad luck. Really, already at that stage in life, you're discarding them in terms of, yeah, doesn't matter. Maybe somebody understands something. Maybe nobody understands anything actually. But even if they do or don't, doesn't matter. What matters is creating that for the sake of those who are capable of doing it. I don't think that happens in that sense. I barely mentioned it before. I feel like a partial theory is something along the lines of, perhaps it occurs. I understand it from the perspective of me being quote-unquote a grown-up person. I understand that it is annoying to create media for children, and even more for teenagers, for example, and whatnot. There is this whole, one of the most beautiful things that does exist and that possesses an actual importance is the capacity to give, once again, more than anything else, teenagers the possibility of traversing the different rights that exist nowadays and the different things that they must. The best word is really duel over, and that they need to go through and whatnot with these symbolic expressions and with these metaphors and such that allow them to understand and allow them to think out the similarities that exist between what they see and what is occurring in their own lives and whatnot. Okay, good enough. But there is also the issue of, I feel like it's hard sometimes to do something basic enough, because I get bored if I have to be basic enough. For example, what I always say when I play something like this, I can dedicate myself to simply commentating over the gameplay. It's doable, but I find myself absolutely bored if I do that. The whole aspect of, I have not a tolerate time if I have to go to things in that way myself. Perhaps it happens in the same way with an artistic mind, the whole aspect of, yeah, the people who are creative enough then also find that they struggle with not utilizing all their creativity. In the end, they were given the possibility of, not just the possibility, they learned to channel the artists that they carry within, and they learned to be capable of utilizing that to not only make something that they like, but also create something that others might benefit from. So, therefore, it means that there has to be something related to the struggles that they experience themselves within what they create. The artist that also, in the act of creation, imbue something of themselves in all the arts that they make. Understandable enough. But if that is the justification, then it might as well be incredibly strange to see how much no mention of that exists at all in terms of, but we still need to consider that younger people need simpler messages. Simply put, what was the one of the movies that I saw that and I hated that notion when when there was a proper explanation for it. I get the movie was fantastic. I love it. I have a wonderful time, and I will probably at some point rewatch it now, knowing what I know. But the what's actually wait, what's the name of the movie? I am trying to talk out a movie, not. Is it from Pixar? What's the? No, it's literally called Robots. Makes sense, makes sense. It is literally called Robots. Clearly enough, was gonna be hard to be capable of saying, yeah, this movie about robots. What's the name? Robots. Wow, so hard. They didn't think that much through. There is no metaphor there. There is no metaphor in that title. Anyways, I was saying that yeah, in the movie Robots, for example, one of the many things that we now quote unquote get to understand is it seems to be that the movie didn't just have the message. Okay, pause. Quick explanation. What the fuck is Robots? Robots was the movie that was about a blue robot that lived in a city full of robots, and he just had the possibility of being an inventor. The point was about inventing things and fixing other robots, and to some states even standing against the existing. The proper word is not exactly like that, but you can say it as standing against the authority and being capable of rebelling against the oppressing forces and whatnot. And okay, in the analysis of that, there it is that we can reach the realization of, wow, this thing also had a lot of other messages. This had, to some extent, the message of the right to repair, which nowadays is absolutely popular. It is embedded within that movie. It is existent within that piece of media. It is present there, and I have the possibility of understanding it. But now, do you think that when I was a fucking kid, I was capable of understanding that? Do you think that, my 10-year-old self was capable of getting that, oh yeah, this is surely about the right to repair, and this is such a meaningful movie. I am going to gain so much from having watched this thing. No, man, I watched it and I said, oh, wow, what an amazing group of robots, and not much else. At best, the point was the basic take that you get from most movies of that sort of, yeah, I see that if I stick with my friends, I get to also do something good for them in being together with others. We all gain, yeah, but that is fucking basic. I needed to be 20 years old or more to finally understand that other aspect. I needed so much to happen to, once again, be capable of reaching that degree of, yeah, this is also an existent meaning that is present in what I am consuming, and is there, and I can access it. Do you think that happens just with me? I am pretty sure that happens with most fucking kids, sadly. And I don't know. I am angry at that. Absolutely angry at that. I feel that it is incredibly meaningless to have so much of that exist everywhere. Once again, for example, there is an entire channel dedicated to the analysis of almost every single fucking episode of, what's the name? Adventure Time, and the different metaphors hidden in its chapter and whatnot. Or, I mean, every single piece of popular media made for kids also possesses that layer of, and there is this other metaphor, hidden meaning and whatnot. I don't know, man. There is one caveat, one absolutely important caveat here, and that is that sadly, and it does actually happen a lot, in the act of trying to understand exactly what you are seeing, you also tend to impose things that might not at all exist, so to speak, to the extent to which, in this case, some metaphors might not truly apply, but since they could apply, you might as well simply say that they do, and make it easier for yourself to understand it, to extract any meaning whatsoever from what you are seeing. It's not exactly a necessity, but the simple possibility of, yeah, perhaps this is what it means. So I will just assume that it is what this means, since once again, the whole aspect of creating theories, assuming that what you say is true, understanding things from one's own perspective and whatnot, basically. When that comes forward in these pieces of media and such, you end up unavoidably having to confront that, yeah, so sometimes things didn't really possess that much extra meaning, but some other times things do seem to have these layers of meaning upon them, these possible layers of interpretation. They're open-ended enough to the degree to which they could entirely benefit from that. Who knows if they truly do or do not benefit from that? What the fuck is this? Itemized corpse hunter? What? What is this? Whatever. Isn't this like an amulet? So yeah, I would have to replace my actual amulet. So, no. No. You know what? No, wait. Will this increase my damage? Let me see. 69,000. Did I change it? No. Ah, wait, I have vendor. True. 77,000. Amazing. And despite all of that, I am not going to change it. I am not going to change you. Anyways. So, you could give me like 10,000 more damage even, and I will not change you. Also, Bronchi. This. Whatever. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, I need to save all of this stuff. But yeah, my point is, and I don't know, it makes me so annoyed, man. I feel like it is wonderful that we're capable of thinking about children in that way. I am happy that there is such a consideration for them, but at the same time, really, you expect them to be capable of getting out of those layers of meaning. Truly, once again, I don't even understand them myself sometimes. Do you truly expect that they will do now? Huh? You think that is a realistic approach to the whole point? I feel like it might not be. But who am I to know stuff sometimes? Also, you know what? No, wait. This is a rare scarab, so I should actually... I want... Chaos. I have... What do I have? What's the name of this thing? Corpses. Four of these. Amazing. Horrible item. Then give me... What can you give me for this thing? I have to save you then. I love how I expect sometime to get Scarab of Divinity. Let's see. Here. Divinity here. What is this? Chaos Orb. Four of these also. What is even a Scarab of Divinity? Like, what does it actually do? Anyway. This thing here. What do you do? You know what? Give me Elder Influence, whatever that is, brother. You are so great. And I forgot that I cannot click you, because you instantly take me to your own map. But yeah, it's that layer of annoyance, I guess. And in that very same line, I I should have not entered here. I should have, before entering here, I should have tried to stash literally everything. But can't happen. Anyways, I was saying that yeah, there are based to some degree. I already mentioned that the whole aspect of yeah, possible interpretations and whatnot. In that same sense, there is something wonderful that happens in most of these things, sadly, and that is there are so many absolutely open-ended things nowadays. The whole aspect of you could take it from because we are accustomed to the mediocrity of the medium itself, which we tend to consume, then it gets seen as a normal thing to have so many things exist nowadays, which all in the end are imbued to such an extent with nothing, with so many layers of totally nothing. But because, and once again, they are so open-ended, it is easier for us to assume that they might actually mean something than to accept that they are totally meaningless in themselves. And because that is the case, because that is so normal, that is so recurrent, so to speak, and whatnot, we end up having quite a hard time sometimes with grasping that, yeah, things are quite meaningless in medium, more than anything else, sadly. The media that is available to us is devoid of any significance. Sadly, even if we can think that we understand something, we do not really get anything out of stuff. We just assume that it has to possess some reason behind its existence or something like that, when in reality it doesn't have to. And sadly, the desire for meaning, so to speak, is so present that, yeah, in the end, it's better for us to assume that this thing means something rather than to say, nah, yeah, this is nothing. This is literally nothing. And just move on from there. Because, once again, quite hard to do that. Quite complicated to actually do it. I can imagine myself doing it, but in most cases, I cannot actually do it. I can picture things. Doesn't mean that I can do stuff related to what I can picture, basically. That's the basic way, quick way of saying it. Yeah. I can believe that I can stop trying to articulate meaning and layers of interpretation onto the things that I consume and whatnot. The act of actually doing it might as well not be. I'm guaranteed icon of power. Amazing. Okay, something great is coming. The question is if we're going. Holy shit! No immortality. What an incredibly dangerous way to open them up. Anyways, I was saying that, yeah, it's not just the normal thing, but sadly, it is the tendency, most of the time, the desire to make sense out of the world leads also to the assumption that things might mean something, when in reality, most things remained absolutely meaningless. Like, one of the many reasons as to why art itself is always so beautiful nowadays and is such a surprising thing lies in the existence itself of the reality that, yeah, in the end, how can we not adore such pieces of art that might contain some sort of hidden meaning if in the end they are all made without any explanation whatsoever? How can people stop looking for a meaning if the creator of things never comes forward and says, yeah, you know what, this thing actually means this other thing. This thing actually has this one interpretation, this one way of being understood that sometimes doesn't happen. And because it doesn't happen, and once again, because we do have the tendency to assume things, it might as well be more understandable to say, okay, this is the way in which you can think about it, than to say, this is yet another piece of meaningless media. This is yet another layer of nothing. The desire to believe that things somehow have to make sense, and things somehow are more deeply like. There is another explanation. I think it had to do something with like, because you can realize what things sometimes mean. At other cases, you are looking for meaning everywhere, to the degree to which you start to assume that all things have to have some sort of explanation and some sort of way of being understood and whatnot. When, once again, suddenly, that's not the case. And to accept it as such is too difficult. So, it's better for the person to be endlessly looking for something like that than to just say, nah, yeah, it's nothing. There is nothing to actually understand from this. Also, I got 2 of these. Good. Wait, why did I get 2 tiers of the same map? What the fuck? I would have thought that they were like forced to be just 1 tier of map. Amazing. What are the fucking... Okay, here. There we go. There were only like 2 guys with ropes. Wow. How does that happen, man? Ah, my favorite mechanic. It was also meaningful, anyways. Ah, there we go. Okay, good enough. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so I was saying, and I don't know, it's for that very same reason. Also, I have an issue with, I don't know. Sometimes you can try to interpret the stuff. You can try, and you can absolutely successfully interpret meaning onto things, but you're also to some extent imposing explanations onto other stuff simply because you want to have everything make sense, and that's something that I feel is absolutely annoying. Sometimes you can waste 1,000 days of your life believing that things might contain a hidden code, a hidden layer onto themselves that might reveal yet another layer of reality itself the moment in which you're capable of understanding it all. Or you can say, maybe not. Perhaps in this case they do not have that, and perhaps in this case they do not possess that quality, and perhaps in this case they do not matter as much. So I do not need to constantly be trying to interpret all the world and to be imposing significance onto all the things that I see. Once again, sometimes things don't have it, sadly. So it ends up being possible to say, yeah, that's it. This is what it is, just because there is nothing else that it could be. So such is life. I don't need exactly to feel sad, but it is what it is, and it is whatever. Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's strange. Once again, you can try to assume that things have a meaning. You can try to assume that things possess those layers of significance and whatnot, but it's not even really necessary. Like, it can be done. Do you really need to do that? I feel like it's not necessary. Sometimes there is this desire to understand the things that makes everything be possessor of some quality or something like that. When, so once again, so much of this world has nothing to it. So much of this world is absolutely bleak to a surprising degree, sadly. But I don't know, it's... life is enjoyable that way at the very least. The eternal search for something else to look at and for something else to gain a message from and something else to be capable of saying, understanding and whatnot. The fuck is physical? Aetis. What? This thing looks amazing. This gives me even like +2 to my... and it's only item level 72. Amazing. Amazing. I have this. I will. I don't know if I want to. If I want to give. Oh my god, it's corrupted. Why is it corrupted? When did I corrupt my fucking Herald of Purity? Okay. Flesh and Stone. You also can't... what the fuck are you? Skills, imbuing it with a random. You are not a skills, what are you? If not a skills, them? Huh? You, can I can't imbue you. Amazing. Level 20. I am, sorry, I cannot read. Yes, indeed. But of Excel players cannot read. You heard it here first. Thank you. So, this is... what is this? Item rarity. Huh? Wait, no. Before getting in that place, let me actually save all of this stuff. And... anything else? This. But I don't know. It's like sometimes life is full of things that seem to not have any direction whatsoever. But at other times, there is this interest to give any kind of direction to things that makes it look like even, or perhaps you're just always struggling with the desire to have something else, add yet another layer of taste to what we live. And I don't know, that's... I feel like now, to some extent, that is annoying. Also, what is my creeping darkness? What is this? Decays over time. What the fuck? What do you mean decays over time? The item quality and the rarity and everything is slowly dying? And it's... what the fuck is this portal? I can't take it. I can, okay. I have no clue what I have to do here. I love when my map has hidden mechanics that I don't understand. Anyway, it is whatever, I guess. I was saying that, and I don't know, it's the point that I was trying to actually make was that you can interpret many things, but that's the issue. Is it really useful to do that? In the end, most of what you see might not have actually an intended interpretation, and in the creation of myth, in the mythification of whatever you observe, you might as well be the whole aspect of transgressing the actual nature of the thing that you're observing, so to speak, the whole aspect of destroying almost what could be the dormant quality or the non-existent quality even of things and whatnot. What the fuck is that enemy? I love not even knowing against what I'm fighting. Whatever you are, you died. What? Can you stop running away? What the fuck is this enemy? Is this intentional, man? Okay, it's auto teleport. No. What? What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Me when the enemy wants to run away. Favorite part. There we go, there we go. No. I'm about to rage quit. Come here, come here. Decide to come here, exactly. Do you want to actually come to the middle of the... Yeah. I love an impossible to catch enemy. Funniest boss encounter ever. When the boss decided to not fight me at all. Do you want to fight actually? My god! Funniest thing ever. When they made the boss not be capable of being fucking killed by people who don't utilize ranged attacks like me. Oh. Yes, please, keep escaping. That's exactly what we need now. You're going to teleport here, you're going to die. Give me a second. Give me a second, once we're done. No. How much damage did you take? Like 3% of your life? Wow, so much damage. There has to be like a mechanic or something, right? That missing, probably. Have to believe on that. Anyways, well, we spent the next 50 minutes here. Let me continue with what I was trying to say then. But yeah, one of the things that I find is absolutely annoying is that, yeah, you can assume meaning in things. You can do that. Do you actually need to do that? I feel like it's not necessary. It's not a quality that actually adds that much to what you are doing. But in the possibility of doing that, you do, to some extent, gain a lot, so to speak. You gain always new interpretations of things. But the biggest problem always is the imposed layers of meaning. You're imposing a lot of possible ways of thinking about the stuff and possible ways in which you can make things make sense, which might not at all be what truly is intended, so to speak. Or not just what is intended, what is at all needed, wanted from the interpretation given, basically. Also, why I take so much damage out of nowhere? Do we want to let me attack? Can I? No, I cannot attack. Why cannot attack? Why am I not recovering mana? Anyways, I was saying that, yeah, and that whole layer of fire, let me try to interpret stuff and let me try to make sense and let me whatnot. I feel like it's not just, sometimes it can be pointless, but sometimes it's not just pointless, it also is damaging to do that. There is such a wide array of assumed things about what one consumes that in the end, it's impossible to not create yet another non-existent way of thinking out what's being said, non-existent idea or new tier, basically, so to speak, of message. And in all of that, I feel like there is quite a lot of time being spent, basically, because truly, sometimes things are not that complicated, and in the whole act of, yeah, let's pretend that this is how we are actually meant to think out this thing. There is something to be gained, there is something to be obtained from doing that, basically. And I don't know, I unavoidably had the sensation that sometimes I gain nothing when doing that, and it is not just in the pursuit of that, but also in the whole encounter with that same thing that I believe doing it so recurrently is hurtful, actually, and doing it consistently is absolutely bad, because some of the world does not have any meaning of that sort. I'm about to lose my Arabics, man. Can you let me hit you? No, you can't. Thank you. One day the boss will say, yeah, you know what? This was enough. I have an idea. Let me come here. Let me... Who sells stuff? There has to be someone that sells something here. Yeah. What a fun mechanic. You? Do you purchase? No. Do you? No. Alba? I don't think so. Bale? No. Cassia Tain? Who sells stuff? You? No. You? No. Nico? Linghar? Faustus doesn't. You don't purchase. No. Lani? Purchase. Okay, give me... Only 300 mana. Wow. Amazing. So, I will have to actually buy it by hand. Mana flask. Give me hallowed mana flask. Hallowed is the highest one? No way, right? Eternal. 18,000. Good. This thing is great. You need to chill. No. This thing, I guess. Let me see what happens. I buy this thing. Good. We now have this. So, I replace this. Do you have any other one? 6. Nothing. Remove curses and use mana. You know what? Give me a second one just in case, and let me go back to my base. That's how you deal with an enemy. You have to pay, but it was all worth it. My god. Oh my god. It a reset. The best part is when it get running away from me. Yeah. Okay, almost. No, not entirely. Oh my god. You can even chill me? Amazing. Yes. Yes. No, 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 no. Come here. I swear to God. Why? Yeah. Okay. Great enough. Finally, my man. How much time did I actually spend on that one boss? Man. Also, this is Legion? What the fuck? I thought this wasn't the Legion. I thought this was the only Legion thing. Wow. Wow. Actually, wow. So, good enough, okay. So I should actually go down here, basically. Ooh. What the fuck is a schism? Breaking out monsters and cysts that are in stasis progressively causes a schism. Whatever that means. And this? Yeah. And this? No, doesn't matter. Each listener in your maps contains an additional war horde. Aha. Listen chests release other monsters and chests with 100% increased range. Okay. More likely to include a general. Listen encounters with a general in your map have both generals. Whatever that means. Anyway, I am stepping way over the line trying to understand those things. Ah, yeah. We are good. Let me go back. What a shockingly horrible battle that was. So, you. Wait, I have to identify you. Huh? Where are you? Also, there wasn't like a tier 6. No, there wasn't. Okay. Good enough. Also, I pressed F1 somehow. Ignore that. So that was the area. Am I going to do it? Never in my fucking life. You know what? Let me drink some water. What a incredibly horrible place to be in. This thing, being guitar square. What? Whatever that is. Here. Can I use this thing here? I can use this thing here. Whatever that is. Also, no, wait. The question is, what do I actually want? These flasks or these other flasks? I will keep them saved, just in case, I guess. What a wonderful mechanic, brother. A boss that doesn't fight you at all. What a great thing to have. So annoying. Anyways. I'm just hung up on it. Sorry. I lost myself in the explanation that I was trying to give before. I actually remember exactly where the anger didn't blind me that much. To some extent it did, but not that much. I was trying to say basically that yeah, there is a lot of things that you can try to understand and you can try to assume possess some kind of meaning. The issue with doing that on a without is that always, not always, the more you are capable of understanding symbols, the more you can trace on similarities existent on the different things that you see, to the degree to which it can absolutely happen that symbols which, in the context of what you are quote unquote deciphering, mean nothing simply because of your capacity to once again trace similarities in general, now possess some reason and now seem to be imbued with something of some sort. And this is important to the degree to which you end up influencing everything else that you see, simply because you believed that what you were seeing had a meaning at all, which once again isn't always the case, sadly. But it's, I will say, yeah, it's not really that bad in terms of, oh no, yeah, what a horrible thing to out of nowhere believe that things have this meaning or that other meaning. It's just that in the end, it seems to be quite, at least in my eyes, quite meaningless to do that. Because, yeah, you can lose yourself into the. It's not even interpretation, it's in the assumed process of deciphering the world and whatnot. But it doesn't really need to happen, so to speak. There are, I would unavoidably say, far more actually meaningful things to do, like I prefer studying other things and whatnot. And we already caveat here, because I talk as if I never in my whole life did that here. We do already have Harata, which is the only place in which I allow that to happen. Everywhere else, I don't feel like it needs to occur. It's like, oh no, yeah, because when you are reading something that is said in TCM, you can now understand that this is what is trying to be conveyed and whatnot. Perhaps, perhaps not. Who knows? Who cares to some extent? It is whatever it is, and if it is something meaningful, amazing. If it isn't something meaningful, great anyways, too. Not always does it actually needed to have an explanation or whatever. Sometimes things just are, you know? And when things just are, it's fine for them to just be. Also, I spent all my points on just 2 things. Amazing. But yeah, that's my point, I guess. That life is wonderful. Sometimes you need to find a meaning in things at all for it to keep it being wonderful. The necessity to interpret, basically. Yeah, what I said before, the necessity to interpret ends up taking way too much control over existence itself. Not everything has an interpretation, and even if it had one, doesn't need to have it. Sometimes the world is best when it remains unexplained, so to speak. Or not exactly that, because it remains unclear, it's good, simply because it doesn't need to have one, simply put. So what the fuck with that noise? Why is everything so noisy out of nowhere? Man. Good enough. Also, how much gold? I have almost 100,000 gold. Amazing. These things? What are those things? Huh? Fractures? Whatever. But I don't know. Life is enjoyable at Ray Cities, basically. That's where I left. Also, I almost died. And sometimes The desire, I guess you could say it like that also, basically. The desire to make your grown-up abilities shine end up bringing forward this incessant noise created by the actions derived from such a need to assert yourself. The way in which, by imposing all of those significances, all of those symbolic values onto the world in its entirety, makes it so that nobody but you gains anything, and unavoidably, even if you believe that you have gained something, you're just sacrificing a lot of your own self, your own time, more than anything else, for the sake of, yeah, this thing is so important. Sometimes things aren't, actually. But who knows? It's hard to say that. It's hard to admit that things sometimes are not at all anything. Also, what the fuck is this place? I'm not done with this place, so what am I actually missing? Literally the middle? No way. No? Okay. What is the boss? Did I already do this area? What? No way I completed this. No? Okay. What? What is the boss? I have an idea. Mirage contains additional frogs. So true, Mumphy. No. The boss isn't over here. What? Then where is the boss? I think I saw it happen like 1 or 2 times. When reading chat, that supposedly you have an increased possibility of basically being thrown into a place like this, but having also the sad reality of, yeah, and you know what, this is where the real boss was hidden, not in the normal world, but here. But it doesn't seem to be the case, so no clue. What is this map, man? What an interesting map, I guess. Yeah, there is no boss anywhere here, so no clue. Whatever it is, I hope it has found the boss, because I haven't found it, so yeah. No way I will have to give up on this fucking map without actually finding the boss. Sister Cassia, I don't want to deal with you today, man. Who knows? Somewhere along the lines, I have missed something probably, for sure. Here? No. So? Where is the boss? What a great question, isn't it? Don't we all? It was you, man. Really? Can happen. Can happen. Can very much happen. Can rotundly happen. Me when I'm blind. Oh, maybe it's the darkness, who knows? Epic. legendary, man. Absolutely stunlocked by my own grandiosity, something like that. What a person. What a guy. It was there all along. He was waiting for me. I like how the map doesn't even indicate you where the boss is. No, don't blame anything else, man. It was literally all my fault. Ah, can't happen. Can't happen. My god. Absolutely in shambles right now. I don't know. I think. My. What a great blow to my fucking mind. I don't know. Something like that, man. What a depressing act. You made. My god. I'm about to cry. No. What was that encounter? What the fuck was that? Anyways. 1675? Whatever. I should not sell you. Wait. What? Wait! I got a bounce of a city? I didn't realize that. I just read the name of the map. Ah, amazing. Okay, we are so comfy. So, I don't think I am going to. I am like incredibly way over my own head in terms of perhaps. What? What the fuck is this? What? Why will not utilize this? Huh? Goodbye. What a thing. Tier 5. Verona. Balls of a city. It's in this direction actually, so yeah. Tier 6. I don't have that many high tiers. That's the problem, and so I'm getting like 2 map drops per area. Give me this. It's Blighted Lands. I am forced to do this? No. Don't force me to do it. You didn't force me actually? Amazing. No, wrong type of map, no. Okay, I'm going to try it once. If it is yet another fucking tower defense mode map, swear to God. Yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. Oh my god, how much I love playing tower defense instead of my action RPG. Nothing better than that, actually. So is there like a... What are people screaming? What the fuck? What am I meant to do here? They are watching me? No. What the fuck are these things? Explore the entire area? I guess. I glitched myself there, right? Like, no way I saw that. Don't worry. Ah. This thing bolded like that. this thing. Okay. With this balloons TD7, now you are an exile. We shall heal over the mental damage inflicted by my own stupidity. Heal my soul from all the damage that I inflicted upon it myself. Also, no wait, I love not knowing how to even navigate this area. Thunder, okay. Give me thunder. No, I am still trying to recover actually, but it was so much out of nowhere, so absolutely unprovoked. Such a it was. Sorry, That's the problem with thinking that you're good at things. That sometimes you forget how well you are actually, and because you end up being surprised by your own incapacities, by your own mistakes, you end up having to deal with the consequence of such a sensation getting over you, all over you, and it's hard to deal with. Because we love to believe that we're great, but when such things come, when such events occur, the soul is absolutely distraught. We suffer, and probably for the right reasons in the end. It shouldn't be such an egotistical existence for a human being. What the fuck is that thing? It was an explosion in there, so I do not repent at all from doing that. This thing? But yeah, I was in the middle of my schizophrenic rant. That yeah, life is full of those things anyways. And the point is just to have the capacity of dealing with it in whichever way you can. And sometimes it is bound to be whatever. Because it's impossible to not suffer from such a sensation, to encounter yourself surprised at such things, such a realizations basically. But that's how we are, that's how we grow to be. That's how we learn to work, we learn to operate. But it's fine, it's fine. With enough time, the person can also slowly overcome their problems of that sort, situations of the same kind that haunts them throughout their existence. Or perhaps they can't, and they suffer because of it, who knows? It's just that, yeah, it's that kind of unexpected sensation that gets you when you're expecting it the least. Also, I love this mechanic of trying to play a tower defense in the middle of such a random raid. I cannot do it at all, man. Like, you're expecting way too much from me. I can barely focus on like 2 enemies at once, and now you want me to also be capable of killing multiple bosses and whatnot, and literally playing the tower defense with you? You are crazy. Like, be thankful that I didn't die the moment in which we started this. But I am reaching my mental limit, like, there is too much stuff happening. Yeah, there we go. That's it. No, today it isn't my day of winning one of these maps either. I already tried it before. Impossible to do. Beautiful. I get nothing because I fail. What a wonderful place. What a meaningful event to participate in. Ah, yeah. And what's my reward? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Great, thank you so much. And yeah, it isn't completed. Who could have predicted that? Anything to say? No. Wonderful. Hate the light. No, sorry. It's me swing a little bit. No, I don't. I guess in the end it's quite good actually to have the opportunity of doing that. Que a mí me gusta la Pepsi. Also, welcome. Hope you had a very good stream. I am molding right now. Nothing really happening. Give me half a second. Let me do my thing. My thing. It's not my thing. It's the thing that you do. Shout out. Boom. Ah. True. Thank you very much for the right. I hope. What question as well? What were we playing? What were we doing? What's happening? Context? Question mark? No. Sorry. Anyways, we are, as you can see, we are playing Path of Exile. Wow, what a game! Also, no, sorry. Welcome everyone else. Welcome Milo. Welcome Supin. Welcome. I hope all of you are well. Sorry, I am. I said my excuse was I was for a second blinded by anger. No, not really, but we are like I was. Ah, yeah. Nicktoons Unite. What is Nicktoons Unite? Like, no clue what that is, but hope it was right. Everyone loved you and clapped. Great. That's how things should be in life. More people being heroes for everyone else. More great doers of amazing deeds. Thank you for your service, Uncle. Without you, the world would be destroyed today. Ah, yeah. No. I don't know. Do you have like any notion about Path of Exile? No. Yeah. As in, do you need context or do you understand what's happening on screen? We are on the part in which we are doing maps. Maps are basically the late game content. That's the quick explanation. That's the whole thing that's happening right now. That's all that I can say. That's happening. That has been happening since the start of the stream, basically. But yeah, not much to really add in this end. Besides that, I don't know. I have been slowly trying to not lose my mind. Spin to win, indeed. It's actually the world in this case. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You're completely right. It's the world. No, it's not the world. It's just a random world that I created. But it works enough. Also, where is the boss? Ah, here it is. I don't know, quick explanation of Path of Exile, something like, you have enemies, you kill them, wow, no, sorry, you, watch this, incoming skill tree, wow, here, this thing is a skill tree that you have, but for maps. What we are doing right now are maps. What is happening right now is we are looking for a certain thing. I will tell you when I find it, basically. If I find one today, I mean, they are to some extent rare enough that I haven't seen any of those by naturally occurring, so maybe they don't occur. But yeah, pointless. I don't know. Just try to make sense out of whatever you see, and if not, don't worry about it. Sometimes also I don't get at all what's happening, so it's a lie. Things make sense in this game. Visual clarity is not its highest part. It's most consistent quality. Yeah. But I don't know, besides that, I was actually for a second absolutely lost in the anger of, oh no, why was I angry for? I don't even know why was I angry for. Something happened. Guitar riff. You're going to. Okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. While we are here, let me. I have to set up stuff now. I need to. Where do I even have the guitar sound? I have it here. Let me copy it into. I already have it here. Amazing. Then I activate this. Supposedly. Why are you making no sound? There we go. That's that. And now options, music, save. There we go. There we have it. It's to some extent it's so low volume that probably you can't even hear it with the overlaying volume of the game itself. But doesn't matter. We have the redeem activated, so that's more than enough. Thumbs up. Oh yeah, I don't even remember why I was angry. Sorry, for some reason I was incredibly mad at something. What can happen basically? The sensation of anger takes over your body, and at some point you lose yourself in that sensation itself. There is no reason, no motive anymore to be angry about anything, but you just have to keep being angry. You just needed to keep having that sensation. Also, welcome, Jane. Hope you're fantastic. Well, it's Path of Exile Day, like every other day. It is amazing. We are in the moment in which I lose myself trying to understand what I upgrade on the skill tree. Give me HP, brother. Armor, max HP. No. This thing, 10%. Is it actually good? No. What is fortificate? What? Fortificate? What? I gain what? I gain fortification from something actually. Wait. What is that thing? Let me here. This is fortification, 1% less damage. From hits, understandable, so this is not good because wonderful quality of this video game. It happens that each boss doesn't do hits, they do spells, so it doesn't matter what you have. And we all clap because the defenses that you just wound, like getting this thing, don't matter. But this will be, what do I get actually then? Can somebody Venmo me like $10,000 so I can buy something? No, sorry, don't do that. Ignore me. I am losing my mind slowly but surely. Wait. This is it. Okay. Anyways, no more looking at that thing for at least the next 10 seconds. So we're still exploring this map. Overscore Indeed. Overscore Indeed. So much indeed. So cursed indeed. this game, man, this game, this man, this man, this game drains the excitement out of it slowly, makes you go crazy, man. It's horrible. Should never play. Should never install Path of Exile. Do yourself a favor and never open it. Never play. Makes you realize that you're just another dopamine addicted person. You're just as weak to all these temptations as everyone else. Oh yeah, it's time to get the new divine. It's time to get the new drop. It's time to get the new shiny thing, the new wow. You heard that? Wow, that was so amazing. And it's an endless cycle of you cannot. Once you play it once, you can never give up on it. It's an addiction. Don't do it. Don't. You actually install it, but play with moderation. It's my recommendation. You see what I did there? But no, I am trying to stay sane. Sorry. A cashier currency. Wow. Also, what is? The item that I didn't pick up. Actually, I said something, but I didn't pick it up. Makes sense. Makes sense. I would actually do it a second time for the bit. But no, anyways. It's amazing. I feel so refreshed by playing this game. No, it's an absolute lie. It's this kind of entertainment is to some extent absolutely strange. The whole capacity for your brain to get satisfaction from actually doing something like this is astounding. The way in which it is an incredibly repetitive task, but you still find the will to keep going, it's crazy. It's like, no, yeah, this is certainly great. I don't think that it is bad, but I don't know. I can understand that it is absolutely basic. I understand after playing so much how people can say, no, yeah, I do not like it myself. Absolutely understandable. It's such a strange game sometimes. It's such a complicated game for no reason whatsoever sometimes. That's an actually great message. If you want to play something like this, you should play something like Diablo, probably. That's 10 times easier, hopefully. And if it isn't easier, don't play it. I don't know, play something simpler that doesn't require your brain to function at all. Like, you don't have to be looking, once again, you don't have to be looking at this thing to try to make sense of what you're going to build next. Something that doesn't demand anything out of you, an ARPG in which everything is on rails. I think actually like a Torchlight or I don't know, I don't know. Well, Torchlight can actually be quite easy, perhaps. But yeah, point is, games of this sort are so strange. It's like the people who like Dota. How can you like Dota, man? It's so complicated, but it's fantastic. It's the yeah, I get it. Perhaps you don't get it, but I get it. So that's simply why I like it. I dedicated so much time to understanding what's happening on screen that at this point I am almost trauma bonded to liking it, you know. But we are like it is normal to have that exist. I don't know. It's certainly a game. That's all that I can say. MOBAs are the worst genre ever? Nah. You haven't played enough gachas. You need to install 7 gachas in your phone and be dedicated to doing every single daily mission that you have to. MOBAs are... The problem with MOBAs are the community and the lack of moderation, because the tendency has been for all of those games to never have anyone actually sanctioned from being an absolutely human, horrible human being who desecrates their companions simply because they failed a skill. But the game itself is fun. It's incredibly simple and it could be, it's theoretically speaking, an amazing game. The issue, once again, is how all places allow it to be such a toxic land. And also, if you really have 7 gacha games in your phone, I I forgot the real expression, something like so over for you. not that one, but something like that. It's I'm so sorry for your loss. So something like that. How can you actually sell gacha games in your phone? Okay, as long as you don't pay for anything, then it is good, I guess. But if you're actually also utilizing money, you're so deep in the rabbit hole and you don't even know it. I mean, it's absolutely over for you already. But whatever. At least the maps don't take as long. And also, I guess I'll need to take yet another break. Probably. Who knows? What? No. Yeah. I don't actually have any more currency with me. Good enough. Okay, yeah. Give me a second. Actually, I'm going to take yet another tiny, quote unquote, break. Something. That's not a sentence. Sorry. Yeah. I will be back in like 5 minutes. No, 30 seconds. No. Somewhere between the next second after I go to the BRB screen and infinite. We will only know it once I actually come back. Your grab phone is still turning on, but you have at least 7 gacha games. You're crazy. You're actually crazy, man. I I mean, unavoidably, it's not. I don't know. I was gonna say I wouldn't wish that even to my worst enemy, but I don't know. Perhaps even if my worst enemy had 5 gacha games, I think they will be doing fine. Once again, as long as you're not sinking money onto them, that's wonderful. Actually, to keep yourself entertained without wailing on those games is good. But the moment in which you finally give in to the temptation of, oh yeah, I need the next roll, no, it's over at that point, man. They got you. They got you so well. And so, anyways, I I said I will be back in 3 seconds. Give me 1 instant. And meanwhile, Pokemon Masters and Schoolgirls. You see, you already fell for them. You did something that you shouldn't have done. You fell for the bait. Shouldn't have failed for it. Shouldn't have beaten the yeah. So great. Also, what is Pokemon Masters? Is that the card game or is that yet another new Pokemon game? Amazing. But no, anyways, give me a second. I will be back. See you in an undefined amount of time. No, in like 2 minutes. Also, can you mute me? It's like, why is there wind noises? It's the game, no music. There we go. We are so comfy. Hello. I am back from my idle break, aka something else, innuendo. Wow. Euphemisms, unbelievable. Also, I saw it right when I was leaving. What? O sea, as in, why did they make yet another gacha game for Pokemon? Unavoidably, they actually have all the rights to do it in terms of how many gachas are there from Pokemon? No. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Actually, I don't want to know how much money the Pokemon company is creating from siphoning cash from their fans in so many ways. But the point is, crazy how they can actually make something like, yeah, we are going to have a game about the trainers and not the Pokemons themselves. But it's understandable. I know like 200 type of different trainers, and there are, I don't know, at this point there has to be at least one every 3 Pokemons or so. Also, what am I looking for here? What a great question. Item, what do we have? Anguish. This thing. Sell this thing, and this thing is anger. What the fuck? Anger. Yeah. One. There we go. There we go. And I mean, sorry, what I said before. As long as you're not actually buying anything, it's great. But if you're paying for or in all of those games, that's actually insane. Like, it's probably dangerous to be paying that much, you know? Kid, you're what? What's your problem? What did you say, man? I have no clue what you said, and I don't really care. Whatever you say, it's fine. Probably. What? Why am I so slowed? Amazing. Am I incapable of regenerating mana? No. Then why do I not regenerate any mana at all? Like, what's the problem? Whatever it is. Ah. It's so crazy. I don't know. I have something to actually say. I feel like, to some extent, games of this kind are going to become the norm. And it's fine, to some extent it's fine. It's almost guaranteed to happen anyway, so we really worry about it in terms of, oh no, yet another as in, okay, what do you even mean? Great question. Live service games, I think they are called, so yeah. Actually, the whole thing that has been happening with them in terms of, these games and how they are being created so to such an extent, but so many of them are failing, and the whole comparison with Concord and whatnot. And I think that to some extent, yeah, it's funny, but to some other extent, there is a lot of quote-unquote reality in terms of games of that sort are absolutely boring, lacking anything that actually makes them good. I get why people will not want to play stuff of that sort. It's so strange to actually hear, oh no, yeah, you know, games as live services. So likewise, when no genetic slop is always going to do bad, but I guess the problem is that they to some extent feel like the swan of the golden egg. What's the expression, chicken? How do you say it? I should stop utilizing expressions in a tongue that isn't my mother one. But basically, point is that yeah, these games. What's up? I almost died, actually, but I didn't. Give me a second because I am actually trying to not die. Okay, good enough. I was trying to say that yeah, something that happened was all the death of this new, really new Concord-esque games, basically. And I don't know, people are surprised that so many of those are still being pumped out, basically. But it's the obvious thing, in the end, the market is capable of relying on them to some extent. Not like, yeah, they are the only way to make money, but they work enough. And that's a good enough reason to ensure that they continue being created. And I don't know, it's like unsurprisingly annoying, I guess, but there will be so many more of those still to come. Sadly, there is to some extent nothing to really do about them, so we are condemned to keep seeing all of those exist in the future anyways. But at the same time, it's fine anyways. It will be whatever. So what is this? What is the thing that I actually want to take? I guess both of them, so. And you? This area is actually doing a lot of damage. I'm actually probably going to die here. No way. No way things start at level 2 in all levels of the challenge. Understandable. I am not going. Yeah. I'm not going to survive this. I say to me, knowing exactly what was going to happen. The map is done at least. Man. I don't know. What a crazy encounter. Okay, let's do this like 3 or 4 more maps, and after that, I'm gonna be mentally done. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it. What is this thing? What? The Maven will witness and affect this map's boss encounter. Defeating the boss encounter will allow the Maven to replicate the fight in her own run. So triumphy. The Maven currently holds a recreation of this map's boss. Understandable. And I have no tier 6 nor tier 7, much less, so. What a wonderful thing. Cannot progress that way. I can progress here. There. Here. You know what? Give me this. And why did I even mention the live service games? Because unavoidably, gacha, live service, gacha, most of them, I guess, they rely on the idea of probably being like that. Sadly, most of the gachas still die. At some point there is so much content available in them that the players themselves end up bored of the quote-unquote possibility, because there is nothing really existent being added, there is nothing really substantial being given, so it becomes quite a meaningless task to try and keep playing, so to speak. And the whole, oh no, yeah, but you have the worlds, even the worlds become bored of, oh yeah, the same, as similar skin, not exactly same, similar skin for 20 characters. Wow, such a different thing. What a meaningful addition. But I don't know. It's like things of that sort really were difficult to actually make work. That's at least what I feel like. It's not like on a Wodawli they can never work, but most of the time the difficulty is actually getting a good enough version of them. Also, what's the leader I didn't look there? Because I'm pretty sure it absolutely died in that encounter and many similar encounters of that same sort. But can happen, I guess. But yeah, I was saying. I don't know. I feel like no, whatever. Beat them, whatever. At least there are enough, I guess, at this point that everybody probably has one that could work for them, that could satisfy their taste, so to speak. It would be crazy to say that no currently existing live service game will be capable of satisfying all the existing audiences. The only issue is still so many of them are absolutely unknown. Like, okay, no, I was gonna say RuneScape. Probably you can say that RuneScape is not as well known for the newer audiences, perhaps. But even then, it is absolutely known, so to speak. That's one. Blood altar number 2, huh? I'm out to die, aren't I? Something tells me. I didn't die. We have this, but there it is. No more. No more. No. I didn't need any more. Thank you. But yeah, I was saying that I feel like on a Wodawli there are so many live service games. There has to be one for every single gamer out there. The issue is to have them all know about. Once again, the whole proposition of knowing out all of them is probably impossible to some extent, so what can actually be done about that? To some extent, no, without nothing. But to some other extent, the whole desire to actually have them all know and have them all be aware and help the audiences participate is always there. But I guess the sensation is, I feel like more than anything else, the point has become to actually just try to make enough of those without any regard whatsoever for the reality of I don't really care what kind of live service you're trying to pitch to me if I do not like it to begin with. So it's like more and more slowly the market is departing from the real consumer, and I don't know, I don't really even understand in the bigger scale of things, like which direction are we gonna be going in regards to all of that. What's gonna be happening in the future? Is the final stage of capitalism, so to speak, going to be that finally the ultra rich people live this world, as in, oh no, something like the hypothetical of, what was it? People like those who can probably afford taking a trip to Mars or whatever, leaving this planet and letting the rest of the pure population behind. I don't think that's going to happen to Ingrid, and on a second degree, even if it happened, I don't think that, oh yeah, now we can finally get rid of capitalism. I don't think that's going to occur. In terms of, yeah, now we are no more thinking about that and wanting anything to do with that. Probably we're just, I mean, I say it as if it was that distant away. It's just a handful of days away. And unavoidably, nothing is going to change in regards to that. Sadly so. So you know what I want you. And what are you? Diviner delirium moro. What? What? Whatever you are. And this scarab, amazing. Rune finding, runic monster, markers, whatever that is too. Yeah. What do we want, man? Nothing, okay. Actions, nightmare. So true. City square, iceberg, a relic chamber. I guess I don't really have much more to actually do in terms of I'm slowly but surely running out of maps that I can actually reliably do so. Who knows? Probably. Okay. This is probably the last map of the day. I have to admit that it is enough. Was good enough. And also, I was so proud about my defenses without taking at all into consideration that most of them don't really matter, taking into consideration that, yeah, I have at all no way of or of annulment. Whatever. Actually getting killed by such low level enemies. Well, we're gonna see. At some point we're gonna reach the actual final game. How many streams more? No clue whatsoever. At this point, I don't know anymore. I would have said before, yeah, we're probably very close. But seeing how much is happening and how far away we still are, at this point I have no clue. Actually so, however long it takes, it shall take. And it is fine. It's part of the process. Some things are better slow cooked, so to speak. The envoy yet again? What do you want, man? Can you let me finish my map quickly? Can I find the boss area rapidly enough? This is the boss, no? Yeah, good enough. That's it. I should probably explore it entirely just to see if there is any leads on mechanic or something like that. Ah, stuck. What a aim, man. But well, yeah, that's mostly it, I guess. We are almost entirely done for today, yeah. Also, why does this map keep expanding further and further? True. I will have to assume that there is no... Yeah, there seems to actually, you know, lead to an encounter. It's so over. Getting so many points for the sake of that, just to never see it anyways. It's not like I actually wanted to get at least an encounter here anyways, huh? Okay. Anyway. That's it, I guess. At least for today, yeah. We are substantially good, so... Also, no, wait. What's the price of this thing? This looked way too weird. Orb of Annulment. What's your cost? 19. Okay. Chaos? 63? No, what? Ah, 1. 12. Not bad. To some extent. Good enough, okay. So, we actually made some cash today. Good. But well, that's it, yeah. I am done with this game today. Yeah, anyway. That's it. Too much gaming. No, don't play Path of Exile. Don't. Do yourself a favor and do not give in to the temptation of installing it, no matter what you see here. But yeah, it was great enough. Thanks, as always, for everything. Thanks for being here, for the attention, for the time. Next time, we're gonna be still playing Path of Exile. Wow. And after that, no clue. Perhaps an entire week of Mahabharata before I keep taking even longer to read it or such, so yeah. But for today, we're done. So yeah, have a good one. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the time, the attention, the patience, the interest, everything. Take care. Rest, hydrate, do whatever you need to do basically. Be responsible, and yeah, until next time, and even if there is no next time, thank you so much for today. It was good enough. So yeah, have a good one and bye bye. Yeah, ciao. No, ciao da. Anyways, now it's just you and me, or YouTube viewer. No, what? Don't say that. Let me find the update queue. What are you talking about? There is an update of this game? It has to not be an update, right? It has to be something else. There was an update. Wow. Amazing. Crazy. I wanted to not take as long, but with that update happening, yeah, now let me do this. Edit and add final level 84 saved. There we go. Anyways, now for real.